Today we're going to be talking about some Funko Pops that have been going down in value recently, but we're going to take a look at how that's actually a good thing. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to focus in on some Funko Pops that have been depreciating or going down in value recently. And the first one that we're going to start off with is actually one that I would expect to go up around this time of the year, and that is actually the Freddy Funko, the 5,000 piece from several years back, where he's actually holding a little Happy Holidays present. This one is coming in at only $10, which is pretty crazy for a limited piece. Now, 5,000 pieces isn't that limited, but $10 for a pop that came out several years back is absolutely just mind-blowing. And with Christmas almost, less than a month away, I would actually expect this one to be rising in value, not falling in value. The next pop that I want to talk about is one that I know a lot of Star Wars fans have been either upset about or very happy about, and that, of course, is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, up until a few months back, there was only one Grand Admiral Thrawn Funko Pop. It came out for 2017 Star Wars Celebration. There's a shared version and a con version, of course, and both of them were going for a lot more than what they're going for now, and that is a direct result of the two brand new Thrawn Pops that Funko has released as of a few weeks back. There is a Target exclusive as well as a common representing his character interpretation from Ahsoka Season 1. Now, this could actually be a good thing for some hardcore Star Wars fans, as the shared sticker was pushing $500 at one point, but now it's come down to $210, while the con sticker version of this pop was actually pushing $1,000, and it's come down to $670. Now, this is actually a good thing for Star Wars collectors overall, because newer Star Wars fans who haven't been in the Funko hobby that long can purchase a Thrawn or both Thrawns at retail, and then if you do want to go after the older Thrawn, as it continues to come down in value, it is more affordable. Now, I know that a lot of Funko collectors who have been in the game for a while might be upset over this, but this was just bound to happen with a character as big as Thrawn. They were going to bring him into the Star Wars franchise at some point, so we finally got him in live action appearance in Ahsoka Season 1. We are going to be getting a lot more Thrawn appearances over the next few years, so there is some potential for this Star Wars Celebration exclusive to possibly climb back in value down the road. Now, I wasn't too surprised to see that Thrawn's value had come down, considering they did release two newer versions of him. However, this next character, I am very surprised at how much it's come down in value, considering we don't have a new version of this character yet. And that, of course, is Ezra. They've only made one Ezra pop thus far. It was from the Rebels line. It features his younger look from Season 1 and a little bit of Season 2, as well as his classic lightsaber. Now, we did see Ezra return in Ahsoka Season 1, so without a doubt, I know that there is going to be at least one, if not several, more Ezra pops that will be made in 2024 and in the future. Now, for this original one, it's currently trending at $115, which is pretty crazy considering at one point it was going for about double that. So to see it appreciate by almost 50%, considering there's no other alternatives on the market, and I really did enjoy Ezra's appearance in the Ahsoka series, and I thought the actor did a phenomenal job. I really enjoyed his part of the story, so I am a little bit surprised to see this one go down as much as it has. Next up, we're going to be talking about some Ad Icons pops, and it seems, although Ad Icons were a staple of Funko's foundation in a lot of characters that they used to make, it seems like a lot of fans and Funko collectors are not gravitating towards Ad Icons the way they used to in years past. And the first character that we're going to be breaking down here is actually a very popular one, somebody that's very recognizable from the cereal brands, of course, and that is Lucky from Lucky Charms. And the glow version of the Lucky the Leprechaun Pop was a Funko Shop exclusive. It came out back in 2018, and it's currently only trending for $46, which is pretty crazy because they made a non-glow and a glow version, and the glow version is without a doubt the one that Ad Icon collectors want more in the long run. At one point it was going for $140, so to see it depreciate by this much is pretty crazy. The next Ad Icon pop that I want to highlight really quick is Tony the Tiger. Now, unlike Lucky, Tony the Tiger has actually had a lot of different Funko Pops and a lot of different Funko versions made of him in different forms, like Pocket Pops. There was even a Tony the Tiger Jr. NFT Pop. So there's been, you know, multiple ways to get Tony the Tiger in your collection. Not to mention they did a retro Tony the Tiger soda with him holding the surfboard. That one was pretty cool, but this Tony the Tiger in particular, where he has the sunglasses and he's a Funko Hollywood exclusive, this one was sought after by a lot of collectors for a while, and as a result, it rose to a peak of $140 in the beginning of 2021. However, today, you could pick it up for only $36. So once again, to see it depreciate by that much is pretty crazy. Now moving on to the next category of pops that I want to talk about, we're going to talk a little about DC. Now, it's no secret these days, DC has had a lot of things happen in their universe. There's a big shakeup right now. We're kind of ending the Snyderverse and we're moving into a new era of DC movies. But one pop that I want to highlight in particular is the Bane pop from the Dark Knight line. Now, this pop was sought after by a lot of collectors for a very long time, specifically because of Bane's appearance and his, portrayal of his character in The Dark Knight Rises. Tom Hardy did an amazing job, and he was an incredible villain to see on screen, right alongside Christian Bale's Batman. And as a result, this pop was very valuable for quite some time, as it reached a peak of $240. It's still pretty valuable today, coming in at $185, but it has continued to go down just ever so slightly every few months. And there is another very similar Bane coming out where he doesn't have his coat on as an NFT redeemable. So when that hits the market, I actually foresee this one continuing to go down in value even more, unless there is another reiteration of Bane either in live action or animated style that makes people love the character once again. Now let's have some fun and let's talk about some anime pops. Now, thanks to Funko, they actually released some information recently saying that anime was their most popular and most desired category in terms of sales for the course of 2023. So pretty interesting, but not very surprising, considering I do know there's a lot of anime fans and anime collectors out there. So at least that's pretty cool to know, and kudos to Funko for releasing that information. The pop that I want to highlight is of a character who got a lot of hype this year because there was that Luffy poster that released for New York Comic Con. That was without a doubt the most sought after exclusive of New York Comic Con. But this is sort of like a repeat year for Luffy, as we got the Luffy with Going Merry pop ride for New York Comic Con 2022. And the con sticker version of this one is currently trending for $180, but it was going for almost $500 not too long ago. The shared sticker is going for $105. That one was also worth quite a bit more up until today. Now, we did have that awesome One Piece Season 1 over on Netflix. It got raving reviews. Everyone I've talked to who saw it said they absolutely loved it, and Netflix has already renewed it for several more seasons, so Luffy hype and Luffy fandom is not going anywhere anytime soon. I just find it interesting that with the Luffy poster so sought after, this character is so recognizable right now, and this pop, the Luffy with Going Merry, is such a unique one, with it being a con exclusive ride, which Funko does not do very much anymore. Just find it really intriguing that it's going for this little, considering all the factors that I just mentioned. Now shifting gears from anime to horror, there is one specific pop that I had to do some research on when I noticed it out in the wild during one of my recent Funko Pop hunts. When I went to Pop Freak Collectibles, if you guys didn't see that video, definitely go check it out. They have a fantastic store in Red Bank, New Jersey. I actually noticed this really cool twisty, unmasked San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from 2015. And I'm not a horror collector, I'm not a big horror fan, but I just noticed this pop for the first time in several years and pretty much forgot that it existed. And I was curious about the value because I saw what Pop Freak was asking for it, and it seemed very low. But then I went onto Pop Price Guide and I noticed that it is in fact going for about what they were asking, as the con sticker is currently trending for only $49, which seems a little odd to me considering it was from 2015. It is a very tough to find exclusive nowadays, and it's actually not worth much more than the shared version of this sticker. So I don't know if people just forgot about this character or it's a pop that people just don't have much interest in anymore these days. And the last two pops that I want to talk about for today's Pops on the Fall video come from the Sonic the Hedgehog universe, and both of them are very interesting, so stay with me and make sure you listen in to what's going on, because there's something going on here that I definitely want to get you guys excited about. And the first pop that I want to highlight is the Hot Topic exclusive Shadow holding Chow. Now this is the harder to find version of Shadow. There's a regular one of him where he's not holding the Chow. This one is currently trending for $55. Pretty crazy, because at one point it was going for well over $200. So this one has depreciated by well over 75% in the last few years. Now what's interesting is there's actually a Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie in the works, and as of last week they actually just teased a Shadow teaser. So he's going to be likely in the third film. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this pop moving forward with the teased appearance of Shadow. Now the other Sonic the Hedgehog pop that I want to highlight is one that I'm sure a lot of you guys like us have had on your wish list for quite some time. And this one, of course, is the Super Shadow in Hedgehog Hyperform. Now, this one was limited to only 1,500 pieces. It's a very tough to find exclusive, and there was actually a peak sale back in the day of $1,850. So this one was not a cheap pop by any stretch of the imagination, and I think this pop is actually a good representation of what's going on right now in the Funko marketplace. So this one has come down by quite a bit, and it's currently trending for $740. So seeing a pop depreciate by over $1,000 can definitely be something that's alarming. And for anybody who paid well over $1,000 for this pop for your collection, I can understand why you might be a little upset. Now, there's people like us, and I'm sure a lot of people out there who might want this one for your collection, and that is where I present to you an amazing opportunity. If this pop continues to trend lower and lower over the next year or two, Joanna and I already discussed it, we're going to be pulling the trigger on it for our collection, because when it was around $400 to $500, when it was starting to rise, we were a little bit frantic and trying to figure out if there was a way we could move some money around and try to pick this one up for our collection. But then, as you guys can see by the graph, it just exploded in value, and there was just no way we were going to get one. Now, based on what's happening right now in the Funko marketplace, I see this happening with a lot of pops out there. You're seeing pops that were worth in the thousands come down to being worth in the upper hundreds. You're seeing pops that were worth, upper hundreds coming down to below 500, and, so on and so forth. Everything is coming down, sizable chunks. And like I said, that's making some people upset, some people happy. It just depends on where you fall on the spectrum. I think this is a result of collectibles actually coming back to a more realistic value for what they should be now post-pandemic. During the pandemic, there was a huge boom. Everybody started collecting stuff at home. Everybody had disposable income for the most part, so they started investing heavily in Funko Pops, Pokemon cards, Lego sets, Hot Toys. You see it in a lot of different communities, especially with comic books. But with now everything coming down, this is actually a really good opportunity for true collectors like us. And I presume most of you guys watching this video right now, there could be something on your wish list that you deemed way out of your price range, something that you were probably never going to be able to afford, likely never going to have in your collection. With a lot of these pops coming down in value, and we're going to highlight a lot more over the next few months in these type of videos, you may actually have the means and the financial amount to be able to go out and pick it up for your collection, which to me as a collector, I find very exciting, because sometimes when you deem something way out of your price range, you pretty much forget about it. You see it every now and then, and it makes you a little bit upset. So seeing all these collectibles now come down to realistic prices, I think overall is something that's really good for the community. And something like this Super Shadow here, it's 1,500 pieces. It's very hard to find. There is going to be a base level where you're not going to see it dip below a certain price, like a lot of other pops. They're going to come down. They're not going to dip below a certain amount. So that's actually going to bring us to our Monday motivation. Every single week, we like to bring you guys a small piece of Monday motivation to help kickstart your week and get you through the toughest day of the week. And for today's Monday motivation is see the bright side of what some other people may be deeming as a negative situation. So everything I just talked about, there's going to be some people who are upset about seeing these values come down. And I'll be right there with you. There are some pops that I have in my collection that I paid more than what they are currently worth. But I am not upset about that. I don't see that overall as a huge negative, and I'm not going to go out of my way to bring that negativity into my life, and I'm definitely not going to impose it into other people's lives. Sometimes, yeah, I might be a little bit upset, especially if I see a pop that I paid hundreds less than what I paid for. But at the end of the day, I'm happy to have it in my collection, although a lot of the pops that I picked up, I bought during a time in the market exactly like this. Around 2016, 2017, the market actually did kind of the same thing it's doing now, and that just shows you exactly how cyclical the Funko market is. I bought a lot of the pieces that I have in my collection that are worth in the upper hundreds and even the thousands for significantly less because I waited out the market just like right now. There is an incredible opportunity if you're a diehard Funko fan to jump on what is happening. So do your research, go on Pop Price Guide, go on HobbyDB, start combing through Mercari, eBay, whatnot, all these other secondary platforms, because I think for the next year to 18 months, unless Funko does something like really drastic and they start releasing some really insane pieces that brings in a whole new crop of collectors, I think everybody within the community right now has a great opportunity to get some cool stuff for their collection. So be on the lookout for that. That's why I wanted to drop today's video to highlight everything that's going on. So let me know down in the comment section below what you think of these price drops and if you see it overall as a positive thing or a negative thing. I definitely want to start this conversation in the comment section below. But guys, that's going to do it for us. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. We will be live tonight on Whatnot at 7 p.m. Eastern for our huge holiday/Christmas show. We got all kinds of amazing holiday pops as well as some Christmas sodas. We're going to have a great time over there. We'll also be doing some giveaways. So if you're not doing anything, come on over 7 p.m. Eastern and hang out with us over on Whatnot. So that's going to do it, guys. As always, don't stop shooting until you score, and I'm so excited for all you guys to possibly be able to pick up some big grails off your wish list.